version of you that you will never meet. That version has the body you always wanted, the bank account you dream about, the family that looks up to you with pride, the peace you cannot find right now. That version of you exists on the other side of one single word: sacrifice. And most people will never meet that version of themselves because the moment sacrifice knocks on the door, they close it. They choose comfort. They choose the extra hour of sleep. They choose the easy conversation instead of the hard truth. They choose the safe path instead of the one that terrifies them. And year after year, that other version of them, the one who could have existed. If you are watching this right now, some part of you already knows this. Some part of you is tired of watching your potential rot while your excuses grow stronger. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because I am not going to motivate you today. I am going to show you the truth about sacrifice that nobody talks about. The truth that separates the people who talk about greatness from the people who actually live it. Every person you admire, every name you respect, every life you wish you had, was built on a foundation of pain they chose willingly. Not pain that happened to them, pain they walked into, on purpose, with their eyes open. The athlete who trains before the sun rises while the world sleeps. The mother who gives up her dreams so her children can chase theirs. The immigrant who leaves everything familiar behind to build a future in a place where nobody knows his name. None of them were given anything. They gave something up first. And that is the part nobody tells you when they hand you a quote about chasing your dreams. Nobody tells you that dreams have a price tag, and the currency is not money. The currency is your comfort, your time, your ego, sometimes your relationships, sometimes years of your life that you will never get back. Sometimes years of your life that you will never get back. So the real question is not whether you want a better life. Everyone wants a better life. The real question, the one you need to sit with today, is this: what are you willing to give up for it? Because if the answer is nothing, then nothing is exactly what you will get. Let me tell you something most people never admit out loud. Sacrifice feels like loss before it ever feels like gain. That is why so many people quit right at the edge of their breakthrough. They plant a seed, water it for 3 days, see no results, and dig it back up, convinced it was never going to grow. Think about the farmer. He does not eat the seed. He buries it, and for weeks, there is nothing to show for it. No praise, no proof, no applause. Just faith and discipline, alone in a field, doing work that nobody will see. That is what real sacrifice looks like. It is unglamorous. It is silent. It does not trend on social media. Nobody claps for you when you turn off Netflix to study for the exam that will change your career. Nobody sees the meals you did not eat, the parties you did not attend, the relationships you had to walk away from because they were pulling you backward instead of forward. Sacrifice is a lonely road, and that loneliness is exactly why most people avoid it. Human beings are wired to seek approval, comfort, and belonging. Sacrifice asks you to step outside all three, sometimes for years, with no guarantee of the outcome. That uncertainty is the real test. Anyone can work hard for a guaranteed reward. It takes something different to work hard when the reward is invisible, when the timeline is unknown, when the people around you think you have lost your mind. I want you to think about someone in your life who sacrificed for you. Maybe it was a parent who worked 2 jobs so you could have opportunities they never had. Think about what that sacrifice meant. It was not comfortable for them. It cost them something real: sleep, money, energy, dreams they buried so yours could live. And here is the uncomfortable question that comes next. What are you doing with what they gave up? Because sacrifice is not just about your future. It is about honoring the sacrifices that were already made for you. Every single day you waste, every excuse you make, you are not just failing yourself. You are quietly disrespecting every person who gave up something so you could have a shot at a better life. That should not make you feel guilty. It should make you feel responsible. There is a difference. Guilt paralyzes you. Responsibility moves you. Once you understand that your sacrifice today is a continuation of someone else's sacrifice yesterday, the whole game changes. You stop asking why you have to suffer for this. You start asking what you owe the people who suffered so you could even be in this position. That shift is where discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like purpose. Now let's talk about the sacrifice nobody warns you about. The internal one. Because there are two kinds of sacrifice in this life. The first is external. Time, sleep, money, comfort. That one is hard, but it is visible, and you can plan around it. The second kind is internal, and it is far more brutal. It is the sacrifice of who you used to be, to become the person capable of the life you want. You have to kill certain parts of your old identity. The version of you that makes excuses has to die. The version of you that needs everyone's approval has to die. The version of you that is scared of failure, scared of judgment, scared of standing out, that version has to be sacrificed too. And that is where most people actually get stuck. Not in the hard work, but in the identity shift. Because deep down, change is terrifying. Not because the new version of you is hard to reach, but because it means letting go of who you have always known yourself to be. Your comfort zone is not comfortable because it is good for you. It is comfortable because it is familiar, and human beings will choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth almost every single time. That is why the same people set the same goals every year and break them by February. Not because they lack motivation, because motivation was never the missing piece. The missing piece was the willingness to sacrifice the identity that was keeping them safe and small. Here is something I need you to understand deeply, because this is the part that changes everything. Sacrifice without a reason will break you, but sacrifice with a purpose will build you into something unrecognizable. If you are sacrificing just because someone told you that hard work pays off, you will quit the first time it gets hard, because there is no emotional fuel behind it. But if you know exactly why you are doing this, if you can see the face of the family you want to protect, if you can feel the freedom you are chasing, if you can picture the day you finally prove every doubter wrong, then the sacrifice stops feeling like suffering. It starts feeling like an investment. This is why some people can wake up at 4 in the morning for years and never complain, while others cannot commit to a single week of discipline. It was never about willpower. It was about clarity. The moment your reason becomes bigger than your excuses, sacrifice becomes the easiest decision in the world, because the pain of staying the same finally becomes heavier than the pain of change. So before you ask yourself what you are willing to give up, ask yourself a deeper question first. What are you actually building? Because if you do not know what you are building, every sacrifice will feel pointless, and you will abandon it the moment it gets uncomfortable. I want to be honest with you about something. This road is not fair. You will sacrifice, and sometimes it will look like nothing is happening. You will watch people who never gave up anything get lucky breaks, easy opportunities, shortcuts that seem to skip the line entirely. And it will make you angry. It will make you question why you are doing this at all. But understand something important. Their story is not your story. Some people are handed a stage. You are being forged into someone who can build his own. There is a massive difference between a person who got somewhere by accident and a person who earned their place through years of unseen sacrifice. The first one crumbles the moment real pressure hits, because they never built the internal strength to hold their position. The second one becomes unshakable Because every sacrifice they made was quietly building a foundation nobody can see, but everybody eventually feels. So when you see someone rise faster than you, without paying the same price, do not let it break your focus. Let it remind you that you are not in a race with them. You are in a race with the version of yourself who almost gave up. That is the only competition that matters. Somewhere out there, right now, there is a version of you standing at the finish line of everything you have been dreaming about. He is not special. He is not lucky. He is simply the version of you who refused to stop sacrificing when it got hard. He kept showing up when nobody was watching. He said no to comfort long enough that discipline eventually became his identity. And here is the thing that should shake you to your core. That version of you already exists in a timeline you have not walked into yet. Every sacrifice you make today is a step toward meeting him. Every sacrifice you avoid is a step toward a life you will regret in silence. In your 40s, in your 50s, wondering what could have been if you had just held on a little longer. You get to choose which future you are building right now in this exact moment. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not after this video ends. Right now. So I am asking you, not to be motivated for a day, but to make a decision that will define years of your life. What are you willing to sacrifice for the person you say you want to become? Say it out loud if you have to. Write it down. Because a goal without a sacrifice attached to it is just a wish, and wishes do not change lives. Decisions do. If this spoke to something inside you, if even one part of you feels ready to stop wishing and start sacrificing, then do not let this moment pass like every other moment of motivation you have felt before. Subscribe to this channel right now, because this is only the beginning of the journey we are going to walk together. Writing it down in front of people who will hold you accountable is the first real sacrifice you can make today. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who has been talking about change for years, but has never been willing to pay the price for it. The world does not need another person with big dreams and no discipline. The world needs you, the version of you who is finally ready to give something up to get everything you have ever wanted. That version of you is not coming. He is waiting. And the only thing standing between you and him is the sacrifice you are willing to make starting today.